Hi angels, welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel for all my returning subscribers. Hello, how's everybody doing? I'm Aisha Christina, very nice to meet you. Today we're gonna be talking about a topic that I am pretty passionate about, but arguably I'm passionate about everything that I talk about on this channel. We're gonna be talking about toxicity in the high value community. Yeah, but before we get on into this video, I want you guys to give this video a big thumbs up. Make sure that you are subscribed to this channel. If you're watching this video, you should be subscribed to this channel. I'm a little confused if you're not. And make sure that you turn on your post notifications so that you're notified every single time that I post. Also, make sure you're subscribed to my podcast. And also, if you like advice from me, you can reach me directly on Wizio. That is the only way to get in direct contact with me. And also, before I forget, make sure that you're following me on Instagram at Aisha Christina Foster, right over there, okay? And everything that I have on in this video and everything will be in the description box below, as well as the link to get in contact with me and everything like that. Now, let's get on into this video. Okay, this topic I know is it can easily be controversial, so I'm going to do the best that I can, being transparent in my opinion and how I feel while helping you guys, of course, as well. So I first want to start by saying that you should never demonize people for whatever it is that they want. And I'm finding here that it's only people that want, I guess, people in general, or for the sake of this channel, I guess we could say women, to kind of lower their standards maybe because of what they feel that the reality is, or kind of make, men feel like because women may want this specific thing and they feel like that's not attainable for them, they tend to project this jaded perception of what women, want and things like that because they don't feel like it's attainable for themselves. And I think equally what can be said from a woman's perspective is maybe if a woman feels like a guy maybe out of her reach or whatever, she'll have a negative opinion about how she should go about getting that person because she doesn't feel like it's actually attainable. So let's talk about the high value community and how it could be toxic, okay? And how we can honestly improve our perspectives. So in my opinion, high value is actually arbitrary. Now, as a man, you are considered to be valuable from a societal standpoint based on your financial wealth, your status, your network, and also your character traits. Now, for a woman to be considered valuable, a high value woman, it is based on your presentation and character. So really in layman's terms, a lot of it is based on your physical appearance and your character. Are you classy? Things like that. Now, financial status is not synonymous with a woman's perceived value. So I was actually having a conversation with my editor and he pointed out something that's really, really notable. He said, okay, what does the conversation look like when you first start talking to someone from a girl's perspective? What is the question that you usually pose to, your girlfriends? And I said, what does he do? If my friend came to me and was like, oh my God, I'm talking to this new guy, first thing I'm thinking, honestly, is, what does he do? And for a guy, if he's going to be having a conversation with his friends, like, hey, I'm talking to this new girl, usually the question is, what does she look like? So that should actually confirm what it is that I was talking about in terms of, again, from a societal standpoint, where we place value based on genders. Now, I want to add that men and women are not equal, right? But hear me out. They are congruent in value, but the value in what they can offer is going to be different, if that makes sense. Now, from a primal standpoint, right? Because I know a lot of people always ask the question like, why do women only want guys with money? All these different things. Think about this from a primal standpoint. Back in the caveman days, women were selecting men by, are they strong? Can this guy, if I were to have his offspring, could he provide for our family? Men were selecting women based on, okay, does this woman look young and in, good shape, whatever that man perceives to be good shape, for me to want to produce offspring with her? So if you think about it, here in 2021 and probably till kingdom come, that still reigns true today. So I think we do ourselves a disservice, in all fairness, when we deduce it down to, women just want men with money. And again, I'm trying my best to speak from a healthier perspective and not speaking from the perspective of like a toxic type of, view of, like you just want a guy that just has money and you'll do whatever it takes to get that and like, go about it in a very poor way. There's no ethics or morality to any of it, okay? This is what it is from a primal standpoint. So I really don't understand how it could be perceived as offensive in any other way, honestly. So at the end of the day, keep this in mind, okay? When someone says that, one, don't be threatened by that, because at the end of the day, it's like this. If you want a guy that has money, that is okay, okay? If you are a guy that happens to be threatened by a woman that wants a man of means, then you should do what it takes to put yourself in the caliber to get, those types of women, as opposed to feeling like, because I can't get that, then, these women have way too many high expectations. And then what do we resort to? Well, now I'm going to attack your physical appearance because I don't have anything else to really attack here. So I'm going to start to deduce you down to how you look. But wait, I thought that women, don't they have to offer something to be a high value woman? If guys don't care about education, then what else do I have to offer? Oh, that's my looks, but you just were talking about my looks. So what is it that really matters here? Where is the solution? Like, what are we offering as a solution in regards to this community and topics like this? It's so easy to talk about all of the negative things and come from a very jaded perspective, but what are the solutions that people are actually offering whenever we're discussing these topics? Are we actually here to help people, or are we just here to come from a very, very jaded and hypervigilant perspective because we had a bad experience with someone, so we are just raining fire down on anyone that seems like they even remind us remotely of someone that we had a poor experience with? Really actually start to consider this. Because at the end of the day, I really do feel like it's important that we are not bashing the opposite gender and that we are actually trying to understand one another and help one another. That is really what it is all about. I think it's also important to note this. I think it's important that men have the safety and ability to lean on women for that emotional support without it diminishing their masculinity. And with that support, they can go back into the world with confidence and acquire more resources. And this is very important because when it comes to that good old question of, well, what are you bringing to the table? I'm not gonna lie. I used to be one of those people too, where I felt like, well, what kind of question is that? Because automatically my mind went to like, what are you saying? Like, are you saying that I should be like helping you, like, pay for this and that? And this is the reality, angels. Like, we do have to have an awareness of what it takes to, get a desired outcome. Okay. And when it comes to that question, I think what answers that question is simply what I just said, where you can offer that nurturing and that support to a man, and that goes a very long way. It doesn't have to be him looking for you to financially take care of him. Now, this is an interesting thing to note as well. From a nurturing versus provider standpoint, I was having a conversation again with, my editor. I was talking about this stuff and he was telling me, he's like, listen, he likes knowing, okay, I can provide this, opportunity for someone. And also I can help them, gain things financially as well by me providing this certain opportunity for someone that I love. I'm taking care of the people that I love and my network and things like that. And I was thinking, oh, that's interesting, because when I think of helping people, like what I do on my channel, I think of nurturing people's minds and like helping them expand and broaden their horizon and, shift their perspectives. So again, that literally speaks to what we have to offer and what we place value in. He didn't mention necessarily, not that he's precluding it, but he didn't mention specifically, I'm so happy that I'm able to just nurture and be there. That wasn't really at the top of his mind. Just like for me, I wasn't thinking, I am happy that I'm able to provide, opportunities for people and help them, make money and things like that. That wasn't at the top of my mind. And again, it doesn't mean I'm precluding it either. It just goes to show what our mind goes to on autopilot, which adds validity to my point. Now, I think it's important to divulge on the facts and expectations. So let's be very transparent here as it pertains to finding a man of means. Now, the statistical implications of things we want are actually sometimes more rare than we actually think. So if you're looking for a man that's going to be making 6 figures a year, I believe that you have to be a part of or have consistent exposure to those types of people. And why? That's because honestly, these are the statistical facts. Less than 10% of the US population actually makes 6 figures a year. Now, that's not to say be scared, have a scarcity mindset, that this isn't possible for you, but that goes back to me highlighting the fact that in order to surround yourself around these types of people, you have to be a part of or expose yourself on a consistent basis to the community of those types of people. So I think it's very important for us to think about this. If you want someone that's going to be a top 10 earner, I think you should also be a top 10 nurturer. There are many other ways that we can each add value to one another because the ways in which we add value are different, but they are also very compatible and congruent to each other. So a man maybe that you are looking for is not going to necessarily place your value on what you can add to him financially. And he's also not going to be offended by the fact that you would like the security, which I think a lot of women, I speak for a lot of women that want that security in a guy. Because again, it shows not only can you provide for me, but you can provide for our children if it were to get to that point, that I know that if we get married and things like that, I don't have to worry about not being able to afford a house, getting evicted out of wherever we currently live. Like, these are actually serious things that come into question before we even get into the materialistic side of things, which is what I think many people place so much emphasis on when they think of a high value man or high value like woman. They just think that they only look at the lifestyle as opposed to the basic fundamentals of why we want these things. So here's my take on this, because I'm not gonna lie, as I was researching this, I felt a little sad because I was like, what is the actual solution? I think it boils down to this: becoming a quality person yourself so that you can attract quality people to you. Not only does it help to increase your exposure to these types of people, but you also have to do the work to adapt the quality mindset and lifestyle in order to become like these people as well. Because if these people are the top 10%, the top 1%, how are you going to even expose yourself to that environment to get there? You either become one of them, which goes for men and women, or you give yourself exposure to people that are like that. On a basic level, that could look like working at a restaurant where you know a lot of wealthy people go to. You could do that. This is why education is very important, and investing in your personal development is essential to your growth and not getting caught up in the toxicity of something like this. These are just essential things that we each want from one another. And a lot of the times this message is getting misconstrued on the internet, and people are turning it into a bashing party of the opposite gender, which I don't really find helpful in any capacity. Start to emulate those qualities and the qualifications that you want to date, so that as your life progresses, you'll find yourself in the circles where those people are. And when you have the understanding that you have to be a quality person to attract a quality person, you cannot have any cognitive dissonance. And let me also say this, that having awareness and understanding of what it is that you want and what you need to do to get there is very important. Why? Because too many people are bashing people because they don't think that certain things are attainable for them. If you want someone that has a certain lifestyle or, can provide a certain opportunity for you because whatever it is, that's what you want, why are people that don't have those things so mad? Why are you so upset? I've never seen so many people afraid of gold diggers when those people that are so afraid of gold diggers don't have any gold to dig. I see what I mean. That's the cognitive dissonance that I'm talking about. It's like, this fear of something that is not your reality. That's not your experience anytime soon. I've also seen instances where a lot of guys that do have the financial means, I've never really seen them so hypervigilant on being used and abused for, their finances. I'm sure it happens in life, but they're not usually super afraid and creating communities where they are bashing women for having these types of desires. That is the best way that I could put this. I hope that this all genuinely made sense. If you guys would like me to divulge on this topic even more, I'd love to hear your opinions, your suggestions for more topics like this in the comment section down below. I want to get the conversation started. I think I want to say, let's all respect one another's opinion, okay? This is a very positive space. This is a safe space here. And I want you guys to just let me know your thoughts on behalf of this topic. And I just want to know. I think it's a very interesting conversation starter. So with that being said, angels, do not forget that I love you and God loves you. And I will see you beautiful angels in the next video. Mwah.